Welcome, everybody, to Harmontown. Is now in session. Love him, obey him, do as he pleases. Welcome, the mayor of Harmontown, the Goblin King, Dan Harmon.
And left her feeling blue. What kind of magic spells to use? Smiles and snails and puppy dog tails, thunder and lightning, something sniffing bacon, jump, jump, magic dance, magic jump, magic dance. Magic jump, 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 magic jump. All right, I think I did everything.
You did it all. Welcome, everybody.
Here comes the flying baby. Baby's flying at you. There you go.
Well, what the podcast listeners won't know is that Dan Harmon and I are, and the various members of our Harmonian audience are dressed as Jareth tonight on an all labyrinth-themed Harmontown.
Yes.
God bless you.
Check the website if you're out in the internet world. You know, just give it a cursory Googling or go to, I don't know, Harmontown.com's not up yet, but you know, go somewhere and look at a photo of us.
A very unusual bulge in your sweatpants.
It's realistically lateral. It's not. It's not. I in real life am, of course, a grower, not a shower, meaning I have a tiny penis that sort of recedes into a nipple above my giant ball sack. So what I did is I found a dog toy that I kind of anchored.
The good news is this is being well photographed from the front row. So
it's kind of in a low-slung twine harness.
Let's see the harness. Is that no,
this is what I've got. We'll be giving this and many other things away throughout the show. I'm not gonna express disappointment with the lack of Jareth. So what I will do is express joy and support for the Jareths that did show up. Let's stand up, Jareths. Be seen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, Black Jareth!
We have a Black Jareth.
NT said on Twitter that he wasn't going to have time, or you said you didn't have the money or to put into a Jareth costume. I said Harmontown would reimburse him because it's a special thing. It's like a social program. I was figuring there's a very good chance he'd be the only Black Jareth. So
what's good
it's
is
like
that
a diversity program, like whatever that wig cost, whatever your gas costs. You know, let's see us after the show.
What's great is even a white Jareth gets into Tina Turner country. But
yeah, if NT and I switched wigs,
you'd still be
I'd be a Ramon and he'd be Tina Turner. All right, so let's not address this all night. Let's casually throw it over our shoulder.
Can we talk about the construction of your vest?
Well, if you want.
Because from middle distance, if you squint your eyes, it's exactly the shape of the vest. I just want to know more about its backstory, its origin.
For those who are only listening, I went for Jareth and I arrived at a kind of a gay Han Solo. By buying a woman's windbreaker and cutting it into the precise shape of David Bowie's, what I would call his lead. He wears several outfits. He's like a male Barbarella. He wears several outfits in Labyrinth. You never see him in the same one twice. I'm sure that was in his contract. And he one of them, and the one where he sings "Dance Magic Dance," he's in kind of a leisure throne wear and kind of kicking back. And
I would say you nailed it. You got boots and everything.
Yeah. Well, I look closer. I didn't get actual boots. I got ladies' boots from Goodwill. Cut the tops of them off. because I couldn't find boots that would fit.
And put them over men's shoes.
Put them over my Ben Stiller shoes.
You made labyrinth spats.
Yep, labyrinth spats. Spats, labyrinth spats. Spats, labyrinth spats.
Put those magic spats on
I saw my boots too small to fit my manly feet. What kind of Kmart prop to
now,
use?
Dan, are you...
Jamba Juice lids glued into a sphere.
Are you a fan of the movie? Because I've only seen it about twice. And I've never... I only saw the ending today. It's a good ending because I always hated Sarah in it because she's kind of an unredemptive character until the bitter end of that thing. Like when she says like, "No, I don't want all my wishes to come true. I want to stay as a baby." Right? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you.
Until then, it's a lot of bickering.
As a professional storyteller, I'm really not allowed to like that movie. But as a moviegoer, as a fan of Hudson Hawk and Doc Hollywood, I understand that it's Erin McGathy's favorite movie and wouldn't take that away from her. She has a passion for that movie that I would liken to people of my generation's passion for The Goonies, for instance.
Right.
I'm not saying Labyrinth people are a different generation. I'm just saying, like, I never watched that Labyrinth shit when I was a kid. It looked a little, I can't say fruity, that's homophobic. It looked gay.
Yeah. Way to avoid fruity.
It looked like it was exercising its God-given right to get married, but to another movie with the same sexual organs.
But as an adult now, as a fan of David Bowie, which I was not when I first saw that movie, I didn't know Bowie. Knowing Bowie now, it's pretty cool. Because it's David Bowie going, "Oh, forget about the babysitter."
It's cooler now than it was then to me. I mean, now it's cool. Now you wish that a bad movies should always be that good. Also, that should be a special note. I think, Time Bandits is a good example too. Like Time Bandits is incredible. It's if you were to say I don't like Time Bandits, there's guys that won't date you no matter how hot you are. Like that's a deal breaker for them. They won't do it. Like a beautiful woman walks up to them. The guy could have two heads and like an extra butt or something, and just have no chance of ever procreating. And then there's like a supermodel could walk up to him, and there's just people out there that she would say, I don't like Time Bandits. I prefer Kevin Smith's Dogma. And there's people out there that are that passionate about Time Bandits that they would tell her to take a beautiful hike. And I don't know if I would count myself in there. I'm too old to care what movies you like or don't like. Although if you said you like Dogma, I'd probably tell you to go fuck yourself. I think it's a slippery slope. Like conversationally down the road. Like what kind of shit am I going to have to listen to? If you think Dogma's a good movie, is it possible you're going to think my face is a sandwich? Am I going to wake up to you eating my face? It has nothing to do with taste in movies. I don't want to assert mine over years. I just want to make sure I don't get murdered. Because the disparity between Dogma and a good film is similar to my face and a fucking sandwich. There's that much difference happening. Just
move your hands away from your bulge. Give me a good profile there. Perfect. Sorry, I was just photographing.
Sarah, don't you know that magic is in my ball? I've seen it twice too. The other thing I was going to say.
It's a movie about a girl that doesn't like babysitting. She wishes her favorite curse.
She's a very unlikable protagonist. She
wishes a goblin to take the baby away for good because she hates babysitting. And then David Bowie comes in with an owl.
And he says,
I got your baby.
He says, you told me. I only did what you told me to do, Sarah. I took the baby. You have till 12 o'clock to try to get it back.
13 o'clock. Until 13 o'clock.
Goblin time.
Yeah, goblin time.
So then I don't know why. Well, we do know why he gives her a time limit because, and this is my problem with the movie, as he establishes in the third act, he's like, look, you created me. I just do whatever you want. That's like one of those movies where you're running from the vampire and somebody goes, wait, we have to have faith. We just have to stop being afraid. It eats our fear.
And then she remembers.
I'm not afraid. Well, then I'll go home. Checking out on the monster clock. That's not a story.
Wait, is 40-year-old David Bowie falling in love with her, or is she falling in love with him, or both?
They're both. Well, he's a manifestation of her, so he's like a metaphor for her experimenting with the cucumber. I don't know. Like he's a 13-year-old girl's version of a man. So he looks like he looks like this.
Well,
a little better. He looks a little better. I wasn't fishing for salmon, so don't give me a boot. And coined a new colloquial phrase. The Jim Henson is the star of Labyrinth,
Certainly,
much as Ennio Morricone is the star of any. Wait, I'm getting that wrong. No, Ennio Morricone is the star of all the spaghetti. Wait, who's the guy that directed the spaghetti westerns?
Sergio
Leone. You see, Sergio.
But Ennio Morricone made the
Ennio
music.
Morricone is he's the real star of a lot of the spaghetti westerns. Like without the Morricone music, what would some of those movies really be? Jim Henson is the star of Labyrinth. He's doing some amazing things. Like there's a mouse riding a fucking pickle or something, and so like they did it by using a regular sized mouse, and then in the close ups, it's the pickle's got human feet coming out of it. I don't know. It's not my passion. It's not. I believe that stuff is it's a scam. That's Schraub shit.
I got to tell you,
Schraub shit. Rob Schraub shit.
I'm looking at you, and that wig is almost Lonnie Anderson.
It's 40% Lonnie, 60% Sammy, right? Hagar.
Sammy Hagar, yeah, I can see that.
All right. So
CC DeVille.
Let's talk about race.
Let's talk about race. Let's talk about Hoggle. The swarthy little fellow that loves gold and jewelry.
Yeah, and like kind of bargains his way. Yeah, well, George Lucas knocked him off the map with his weird Semitic desert bargainer.
In episode 1.
In episode 1. I was like, what can I do for you? What you want your slave back? With my technique, this is a way to use the Force. That was no good. And then we don't.
But Hoggle beat him to that punch, I would say.
Beat him to the punch, but then like no one remembers the first punch after. It's like a George Lucas chop to the.
Down goes Frazier.
Holy craps! Yeah, Labyrinth. Jim Henson. Good job, Jim Henson.